So the first B of the connection code is be vulnerable. Now, I know what a lot of you may be thinking. Joe, what are you talking about being vulnerable? Don't you see these shark-infested waters we're swimming in? I'm a professional. I can't be vulnerable. I'll be eaten up alive. I hear you. And in fact, the Latin word that vulnerable comes from actually means to wound. So vulnerable means able to be wounded. So you may be asking, what does being able to be wounded have to do with connecting to others? So I think sometimes it helps with these sorts of concepts to demonstrate them physically, because there's more understanding that you can have through your body and your movement. I like to call it embodied learning. So if everyone could please stand up and pair up. Pair up and face your partner. Okay? If you don't have a pair, you can just watch. Okay? All right, great. So I want everyone to stand about arm's length apart, so you can't quite reach each other with your arms. Okay? So this position here is the connection context, right? You want to connect with each other, and connection, don't do this yet, would be stepping in and shaking hands. But you're not there yet, right? So what do we do when we're afraid of being vulnerable? What's our natural reaction?
Look away.
Look away. What else? We try to protect ourselves, right? So I want to symbolize protecting ourselves. Folks who are closer to this side of the room, just pick one person. I want you to symbolize that by gently raising your hand and sticking your hand sort of right in the line of vision of your partner. So it's like you have a sword that's in their face, protecting them, right? So people who have a sword in your face, how do you feel? You don't feel good, right? Are you going to step forward and connect with someone? No, keep your hands up, please. Keep your hands up. So what are you more likely to do? Step back, but you're not going to step back because you're in the connection situation. But what are you going to do?
Shake it.
You're gonna retaliate. You're gonna retaliate. So put your hand up. Put your hand up. All right? So look what we have here. We have two people who want to connect, but they can't because they're preventing each other from connecting. So what's the solution? Someone has to go first. So whoever put their hand up first, I want you to literally lower your guard by putting your sword down to your side. Okay?
You're welcome.
Now how does that feel now if you no longer have the sword in your face? Feels better, right? And what are you more likely to do?
Lower yours.
Lower yours, right? And now what can you do? You can step forward and shake hands and make a connection. All right, thank you. Everyone sit down, please. So you may be wondering, what does this have to do with connecting with others? Now the important point here is the most interesting parts of yourself. We always talk about authenticity, right? The most authentic, interesting, creative parts of yourself. It's a little bit scary to share them with people, right? You don't know how people are going to react, right? They may make fun of you, they may say you're silly. So what do we often do? We put up our guard and we only share a limited amount. But what does that do? That signals to the other person that you don't trust them. And what do? Well, if you don't trust me, I'm not going to share interesting, creative, innovative parts of myself. I'm going to put my guard up too. So that's the reason why vulnerability is so important to being able to connect with others. And I have a little rhyme to help me remember this. So folks on this part of the room could say the first part of the rhyme, and folks on this part of the room the second part of the rhyme. So repeat after me. If I keep people at bay, they're less likely to stay. If I keep people at bay, they're less likely to stay. Okay. So that's the first B of the connection code.